It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Hunter New England Health has tightened its rules for visitors across the region's public hospitals to try and stop the spread of coronavirus. It comes as another 2 people are confirmed as having COVID-19, taking the region's total to 13. Nurse Unit Manager Joel Tiltman says the new protocols are designed to protect staff, patients and the community from the risk of infection.
What this does mean is that for every clinic appointment, a patient will be allowed 1 support person. For every inpatient, they will be allowed 1 visitor, meaning 1 support person, the main caregiver, or 1 loved one.
Meanwhile, all unnecessary outpatient, day stay and elective surgery for any patient who's travelled overseas has been cancelled. Hunter New England Health says it's assessing the need for further restrictions on surgeries. The University of Newcastle is transitioning to online learning from Monday and providing staff with specific COVID-19 leave. Faculty staff have been working hard to adapt courses to support online learning for the remainder of semester 1. All university staff, including casuals, will be granted up to 10 days of leave to support them in the event they contract coronavirus or are required to self-isolate due to exposure. Campuses remain open. Rural and regional communities have raised concerns about the short supply of coronavirus clinics available across the Hunter in the state. Currently, there are no clinics north of Newcastle, south of Wollongong or further west than Dubbo, save for Broken Hill. Port Stephens MP Kate Washington says Hunter communities have been left in the dark about access to clinics.
My community that I represent is a very vulnerable community. Tea Gardens Hawk's Nest is the oldest community in Australia. We need to have a localised plan. People locally need to understand where they need to go, who they need to call. At the moment, there's too much uncertainty.
Rules restricting delivery times to supermarkets in the Hunter are being lifted to help get stock back on the shelves. The state government says local council rules have been overridden to allow deliveries around the clock. The Premier says it's important people stop panic buying. Meanwhile, immunity scientists are warning Hunter residents to stop panic buying during the COVID-19 pandemic to help maintain good community hygiene, along with keeping vitamin D levels, sanitising regularly and practising social distancing. Head of Research at ATP Science, Matthew Legg, says forcing residents to chase after household items is only making the situation worse.
It's important not to hoard resources and be selfish, so there's no need to kind of rush out and buy everything, because when you're looking at hygiene and this whole purpose of isolation, it's actually a community project. So taking resources away from vulnerable people or forcing people to drive around looking for stuff is actually just going to spread more infection and not do you any favours at all.
To other news, Hunter Valley Police will obtain a blood sample from a woman involved in an early morning crash at Denman to determine if alcohol was a contributing factor. The 40-year-old was driving a silver Mitsubishi Magna sedan on Mangoola Road just after 12:30 when the car left the road and hit a power pole. She was taken to Muswellbrook Hospital with a gash to her knee and suspected broken ankles. Briefly, a 16-year-old boy who spent last night away from home after an argument has been fined for starting a campfire to keep warm at Charlestown. And work starts next week on a new plaza, trees, lawns and paved areas at the station in Newcastle.
2NURFM Sport.
The Jets are ready to take on the Brisbane Roar tonight despite the short turnaround from last week's match against Adelaide United. Coach Carl Robinson says while not ideal, the shorter break isn't worrying the squad.
The boys will be prepared, they're recovered. As I said, it's not ideal, but we deal with it and we move forward, and what we can focus on is our performance.
The Newcastle International Hockey Centre will close its doors until May 2 as a reaction to the coronavirus. All senior and junior matches set to be played at the venue will be postponed until then. The Chris Lees trained mare Asharani has become the new favourite to take out the $500,000 race at Randwick this April after a win at Newcastle Racecourse yesterday. And the Merriweather Surfboard Club has been nominated Club of the Year at the 2020 Surfing Australia Awards. And the winning numbers in Powerball are 18, 1, 12, 10, 27, 20 and 11, and the Powerball number is 20. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.